Wisconsin won the toss, elected to kick. Opening kick is handled by Ja'Cory Barney. Barney breaks to the outside. Down the sideline he goes, and out of bounds. Great field position.
Dana Holgorsen said the key today is keeping him clean.
Gonna hand it off on first down, hit, and he's gonna be short of the 50-yard line after a gain of 3. Emmett Johnson. Raiola to pass on 2nd and 7. Catch made, and near the sticks goes Emmett Johnson at 7 catches last week.
All the potential in the world, but what Holgorsen said that I completely agree with. Before you catch the ball, you got to help in the run game.
Johnson gets the carry again. Big hole up the middle, first down, Cornhuskers. Big block by the right guard, Henry Latovsky, to spring him free. Blitz coming from the outside, got rid of it, catch made into the red zone. It's an area where Nebraska has struggled all year, putting touchdowns on the board in the red zone. Johnson gets it to the 5. Heinrich Harburger's in at quarterback for Nebraska. Harburg keeps, Harburg right side, touchdown Huskers. A statement on their opening drive of the game. First rushing score of the year for Heinrich Harburg. Remember, he was the starter for much of the season last year. Extra point is up and good. Buschini kicks it away. And returnable for Wisconsin. Go up the gut and short of the 20-yard line on the return.
Got away from that run, and I believe that's part of the reason Fickle ended up making the move.
Tommy Walker gets the carry on first down, and there are a lot of Nebraska helmets. Kekahuna goes in motion. Locke gets it out quickly to Vinny Anthony, makes a man miss. He's short of the 30-yard line. Forget the 3rd down and 1. It's 1st and 10 for Wisconsin. Locke. Again, Vinny Anthony.
Mess with the looks of the Badgers' offensive line.
2nd and 3. Locke again across the middle, first down. Anthony still on his feet, looking for the sideline. Vinny Anthony out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
Good example of it there.
How about the zip on that football, too, from Braden Locke? Go up the middle. Walker, good gain on first down. He's near the 15-yard line. 2nd down and 4 for Wisconsin, already in the red zone. Pressure coming from Nebraska. It's picked up. Corner of the end zone, incomplete, and a flag comes out.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. Ball be placed in spot of foul. Automatic first down.
Locke, end zone. Foot down. And a touchdown.
And Bryce, he won at the line of scrimmage. He won with his release. Checking the catch all the way through. He beat Buford off the line of scrimmage and was wide open. Ooh.
So that
ball came out late.
That ball comes loose right there. Again, we didn't see any officials. The extra point is up and good from Nathaniel Vacos.
Of that on the last drive, and then on the interior of that defensive line, Elijah Hills, transfer from Albany. Really been impressed with the way he's played on the inside of the Badgers defense that they did against Iowa.
Raiola to pass on first down. And we're going to get movement on Thomas Fedoni. 2nd and 11 after the penalty. Raiola to the outside. Good secure catch, but a better tackle on the outside.
Expect to see that in these 3rd down packages.
A duck thrown to the outside, incomplete. False start penalty stalling the drive. Buschini to kick it away. Nice punt. Vinny Anthony on the return. Anthony sandwiched before the 30-yard line. That's another part of Hunter Wohler's game. Braden Locke to open up this drive. From the 29, Locke on a busted play. Does not get back to the line of scrimmage.
He's the big bear next to the polar bear, Nash Hutmaker. The interior of this Nebraska defensive line is ferocious.
Locke again to pass across the middle. Nice catch.
But in this season, he's been due for one bad mistake.
Dupree gets the carry, and he gets out to the 46-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Brooke Fletcher.
Has kept them on the same page at practice, you guys.
Thank you, Brooks. 2nd down and 5. Locke again back to pass. Locke running out of time, gets hit as he throws. It's incomplete. To the outside, incomplete.
I'd imagine Tony White sends some extra resources at him.
Atticus Bertrams to punt. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda on the return. Fair catch called for and secured. Nebraska's got the football for a third time. Had an opening drive touchdown. Raiola hands it off. Dante Dowdell with the carry for a gain of 4. Playing with some tempo. Raiola on play action. Underhand flip and a stick ball is out. Wisconsin recovers. Darion Dupree again in the backfield. And incomplete right through the hands of Tucker Ashcraft. Walker back in the backfield. Walker gets it, absorbs a hit, breaks one tackle, and then driven down. 6'6", 310, used his low leverage to get inside the pads of 6'8", Rylan Ballman. Across the middle. And he missed it. Wide left. Raiola sets up the screen. It's Johnson with blockers in front of him. Emmett Johnson in the clear. Close to midfield. Big gain on first down for Nebraska.
And a nice explosive play on the screen game.
Little push pass. Barney, who had the big return, stays on his feet. Harbert keeps left side, making a move, and then dives for a gain of 1. Raiola got it out, incomplete.
Clearly emphasizing finding ways to get the ball in his hands.
On 3rd and 9, Raiola moved the sticks, good catch.
So when you talk about simplifying the offense, that's why.
Slings it to the outside, nice hands. The clock is going to wind. Heinrich Harburg back in the game. Nebraska in the red zone. Harburg on the move again, brought down from the backside.
And Dana Holgerson feels the run game will be helped by wide receiver blocking and running backs.
Emmett Johnson to the house. Dowdell, excuse me.
Including Jamal Bakes, the wide receiver, 6'4", 220, opening it up.
Good job with the hold to get it down.
How does Wisconsin need to respond here tonight?
The biggest thing for Wisconsin is finding a way to handle that pass. Anytime you ask about matchups, it's always going to be serve and pass, especially in this one with how good of a serving team Nebraska is. Wisconsin has to pass well to use that good offense in the middle.
Emily, have a good call tonight.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much. Play action pass to the outside, and losing his footing was Tucker Ashcraft. Handoff, Walker pushing his legs before finally being driven backward. Handoff right side, first down, Walker, and much more. Made a man miss inside the 25-yard line. Saw Braden Locke jump. He wanted the snap to come.
The need and the desire to get to that 6th win, get to a bowl game.
Walker gets the carry again, runs right into the defender
And the rest of the staff.
2nd and 14, Locke across the middle of the 20. Kekahuna hit. They're going to be short. This from 33 officially, other end zone. Kick is up and pure this time. Rules thing, right? Year 2 of a program. They get to a bowl. They've been knocking on this door for a while. And Wisconsin kicks it out of bounds, so good field position.
Had they made their field goal or Raiola hit his tight end, they would have beat Illinois. They would have gotten to 6. This is a capable team that has been inconsistent at times, and that's led to their losses.
Raiola hits the underneath man.
It's an additional spring period.
Emmett Johnson on the carry, driven down. Gabe Irvin is in the backfield. Raiola goes to the outside, in and out of the hands and off the chest.
From a recruiting standpoint, think about the energy around the building when you're preparing for a bowl game.
Miscommunication, they get it out to Johnson on the bubble screen. Able to make the tackle. Xavier Lucas brings up 4th down.
Something was off about that play. Formationally,
didn't look like the offensive line got off on the football.
Yeah, let's take another look at this. Look at this. This formation. All your guys are down on the line of scrimmage. Really, you only have 2 in the backfield. The ball was snapped, and it didn't look like some guys were ready. The Badgers were ready, but something was strange there on 3rd down.
Drive stalls. Remember, Wisconsin won the toss. We got halfway through the 2nd quarter. Heat coming. Punt away by Bushini. Takes a Nebraska bounce into the coffin corner. Wisconsin's got it at their own 3-yard line. Handoff Walker. Got to the outside, pushed out of bounds, and he just shoved that defender. Walker again, hit from the side, gets out to the 11, 3rd down and 2. All day to throw, deep ball, wide open, 1st down Nebraska. Hits Chris Brooks. Play action for Locke. Looking deep again, running out of time, and throws it out of bounds. Smart move. Easy catch and a 1st down near midfield by Jackson Aker. Push pass. Kekahuna in the open field inside the 30-yard line. His 3rd catch of the day. Ooh, nice contact on the carry by Darion Dupree. Fade route, incomplete, looking Anthony's way.
Man-to-man coverage.
Pressure coming. Throw is high and incomplete from 40 yards. And the kick is no good again. Raiola all day, slings it to the outside. Emmett Johnson, nice tackle. 1 timeout left plus the 2-minute timeout. Handoff up the middle, huge run, 1st down, Huskers.
Emmett Johnson clearly responding well to that message from his play call.
Raiola.
There was so much anticipation going into the season. We mentioned the journey when they started 5-1. Thought it was a given they'd get to 6.
Emmett Johnson breaks through for another 1st down. Raiola over the middle, wide open.
He's anticipating, he's present, he's not rushed.
Raiola taken what the defense gives and hits his tight end Lindenmeyer. 2nd and short. Emmett Johnson pushes forward for a 1st down and into the red zone.
Here's where Tressel might start to bring some pressure.
Raiola, end zone. Feet down, yes! Touchdown, Nebraska.
Certainly the right foot, the toe hits down out of bounds. So to me, again, ruled as an incomplete pass. I think you got to stay.
And look at the structure, Wisconsin's defense. Again, I might expect Tressel to start to bring some pressure.
Raiola again going end zone, incomplete.
Ohio State, there's a reason they were predicted to win the national title by a number of people.
Raiola again, back to pass. Looking deep, incomplete, flags come out.
Pass interference, defense, number 2. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. 1st down.
You can run it, but you can only run it once with 1 timeout.
Raiola. End zone. Touchdown! Did he get the foot down? Jamal Banks for the score.
It's close. It looked like his left foot did get in. Here's a great shot of it. Watch the left foot. Touchdown, allowing his receiver to use that full height.
Save for maybe 2 or 3 is following at B1G football. Some way, shape, or form. And Nebraska cashes in after a second missed field goal by Wisconsin. Walker pounded his way through. The ball is out.
Let's see, did the ball come out? Oh my God, that ball is out. Isaac Gifford, a good job punching it.
John Hull's been good from 54. Raiola, back shoulder, out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Ja'Cory Barney made the catch. 6 seconds to go.
Ja'Cory Barney, man, this is a guy we're gonna have our eyes on going forward. A true freshman, he's done a little bit of everything today. The return game, had some big-time catches. And just great execution. How good does Raiola look right now? You talk about simplifying the offense. The offensive line is protecting him. They've established the run game. It looks like a completely different quarterback from some of what we've seen in the most recent weeks.
This is Raiola from the first 6 weeks of the season. Hull from 37. Kick up, kick good. Nebraska stealing 3 at the end of the first half. Wisconsin will get it to open up this second half. Bushini. This one returnable. Iacomelli on the return.
Important for the Badgers to get some points of their own and stay in this game.
Handed off, Walker. Ripped down from behind at 41 yards. Heat coming. Locke able to get rid of it. It's knocked down. Locke incomplete. Kekahuna had a step, missed him. 4th down.
That should have been holding too. Kekahuna was working with a nice stem inside on Marquise Buford. And Buford, he was beat. Watch him right here in the middle of your screen. Bang, right there. And you see Buford grabs his shoulder and his face mask, gets him completely turned around, and the officials missed one there. It should have been a holding and a first down for the Badgers. But Nebraska doesn't want to hear that after last week, right? I mean, they were on the wrong end of a missed call.
Low snap, kick away. Barney on the return, slips one tackle, and goes down across the 25-yard line downstairs to Brookfoot. So Nebraska's first drive of the second half. Raiola steps up, and it's incomplete. Popped in and out of the hands of Banks. There were 3 Badgers right around him.
These past few weeks, you could see him overthinking everything. Simplifying the offense has allowed him to shine.
Emmett Johnson with space. Johnson still on his feet, shakes one, shakes another across the 45-yard line.
So Christian Allegro is the one healthy body. His role is increasing.
What a pass.
Opened up all that grass and a nice arm angle there, like you mentioned, Jeff, by Raiola.
Heat coming. Raiola got rid of it. Again, Barney hit by Allegro.
Makes it really hard to bat down his passes.
Handoff up the middle. Nice move. Over 100 total yards for Emmett Johnson. Gets the carry again. Right back up the middle, and the Beef pushing him forward.
So Holgerson calls out his guys, and now that they're doing what they are capable of.
Look at Enzo. Raiola! Incomplete. Great pass. Nair couldn't hang on.
Oh, man, you can't throw a better ball. You can't throw a better ball. Watch this, Nair, 18. Oh, my goodness gracious, that went right through his hands.
How many times have we seen that this year from Nebraska? I mean, even last week against USC, there were a few of these.
Right, it's these little things. Like, we don't know as it stands right now if that play is going to be the difference in this game, but certainly that should be 6 points for Nebraska, missed opportunity.
3rd and 5. Raiola. And the pressure, throws incomplete. Right off of our parabolic mic, you heard it thud.
Number 0, John Pius, just walked the right tackle, Ben Hart, right back into the lap of Raiola. Those edges just collapsed the pocket. Watch number, right here on the bottom of your screen, watch him walk back and turn that into a bull rush. My goodness, great power. John Pius has been playing some great football. He really showed up against Oregon, felt like it was his best game of the season. Showing a little bit of that there on 3rd down.
45-yard try from John Hove. Kick up and good. Not a far walk from Memorial Stadium to the Devaney Center. Iacomelli again back to return. Iacomelli, good return near the 35-yard line. All right.
That field goal makes it a 3-possession game.
Handoff, Darion Dupree stays on his feet near the 40-yard line. Picks up 6 on that first run. As good as this Wisconsin offense has looked, 2 missed field goals, the fumble right at the end of the first half. It's turned into 17 Nebraska points. That's the difference in the game.
Right, and shoot, Nebraska knows that. Think about last week against USC. They weren't able to take advantage of opportunities. This week, clearly showing progress. As you mentioned, Jeff, that's been the difference in the game, the ability to score in the red zone.
And you get a false start, left side of the offensive line jumped. Lock on play action. Bryson Green hauls it in. He had the touchdown reception early on in the ball game, and he moves the sticks. Gain of 17.
The difference in this game has just been the rushing battle, as is to be expected with these two programs. Nebraska 107 yards on the ground, Wisconsin only 55.
Walk again to throw it, finds the outside. Staying in bounds and getting pushed is the running back Darion Dupree, his 11th catch of the season.
Again, the Badger offensive line has done their job. I mean, they've given Locke plenty of time today. They've opened up rushing lanes. They've done their job. It's been a fun battle. Now Nebraska's defensive line has made some plays as well, but
moving the football has not been the issue for Wisconsin. Locke threw it behind the intended receiver, C.J. Williams.
Like Locke was expecting him to. It seemed like Locke. Watch this. I think he thought Williams might have stopped, maybe on a hitch route. Williams was running the slant route. 4-down territory here, Jeff, I'd imagine, right? I mean, 3-possession game. He got 2 shots at this one.
Has to be. 3rd down and 2, you got 3 in the backfield. Handoff, Walker pushing his way forward, now backpedaling his way inside the 35-yard line. 1st down Badgers.
It's not often that Wisconsin gets under center, and that's been a big change, right? They were fully an under center offense under Paul Christ. Fickle brings in Longo, the air raid system. They operated almost exclusively from the shotgun. So remember, Longo, they moved on from Longo, parted ways. Now it's the tight end coach, Nate Letton, calling plays, and maybe that's a new wrinkle right there, is putting Locke under center.
Walker again the carry in the backfield of the Huskers to bring him down. Princewell Umamyelen.
That's been another point of, or another difference in this game. Wisconsin's defensive line, they don't have a single TFL. Nebraska's defensive line has been able to get in the backfield and force some negative plays.
Heat coming. Dupree to the outside. Dupree is hit. Ty Robinson driving him out of bounds. Third down and manageable. Right play call for the pressure that he was getting.
And how about the pursuit by big number 9, Ty Robinson? Look at him lined up over the guard. Watch how far he travels to get out there. That's a big man running down. That's the one NFL scouts love to see, though. Do you pursue to the football?
On the field for every play. 6'6", 310, right in the middle. Dupree escapes one. He's going to be short. It's 4th down and 2.
Ty Robinson showing us a little bit of everything. He ran down the back on the previous play. That time he blew that play up from the jump, completely walked the guard, number 60, Joe Huber, into the backfield. He's the total package, man. You'll be seeing him on Sundays for a long time.
Tommy Walker back in the game.
Be aware of a heavy play action here.
Walker stonewalled. The Huskers hold. Dante Dowdell in the backfield. Emmett Johnson has run wild today. Dowdell gets the carry, pushes a man down, and gets up to the 35-yard line, a gain of 9.
It goes back to the line of scrimmage, though. We saw the D-line win on a critical 4th down, and now we're seeing the offensive line pick it up right there. They just walked Wisconsin's D-line back.
To your point, the rushing yards, a huge advantage for Nebraska this afternoon and evening. Raiola to the outside. Borkature, the tight end, pushing Badgers into Wisconsin territory.
I can see it and feel it in real time, the confidence and belief of this team growing. And I give so much credit to Dana Holgorsen in simplifying this off. They look completely different.
Dylan Raiola is in complete command of this offense right now. This looks like the offense from the first 6 weeks. Toss, Barney on the sweep, out of bounds at the 35.
There it is again, just another wrinkle that we haven't seen. The principle is, let's get Barney the ball. He's a playmaker. We saw him in a jet sweep push pass in the first half. This time, they hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage, get Wisconsin on their heels, and then do a little toss play reverse to Barney for an easy first down.
He's got 3 rushing touchdowns on the season. He doesn't have a receiving touchdown. All on the ground. Dowdell wrapped up in the backfield and brought down. There's Pius on the stop.
Raiola was pointing to him, saying, "Hey, man, take that up inside." Dowdell bounced it right away, but there was space inside. They were getting movement. He's telling his running back, follow the offensive line. They're doing their job.
Dowdell across the 30. 3rd down, Nebraska.
This is a moment in the game that, you know, everything's settled down, but think about the importance of the past nearly a decade now. Every moment leading us right to this exact moment, a chance for Nebraska to take complete control of this game.
Critical for Wisconsin to get this defense off the field. A long drive. Raiola wide open. Emmett Johnson down the sideline. Inside the 5-yard line, Emmett Johnson all by himself.
This is just such a beautiful job by Holgorsen. Once again, the motion pre-snap, the window dressing. Wisconsin's normally a disciplined defense, and they looked completely lost on that play. You got a talented freshman in Dylan Raiola. But what that guy right there has done is taken the weight off Raiola's shoulders. Scheme him open plays like that. Third down, you can't draw up an easier play.
Dowdell in the backfield. Dowdell for a second time. Touchdown, Nebraska.
They didn't meet the standard. He said, no, we're not snake bitten, guys. This is in your control. He wants to empower his players at home on senior night. Have to have it, and they're doing it.
Vinny Anthony on the return, brought down at the 20. Dupree in the backfield, locking the offense. Has got to get moving. They hit the tight end, Nowakowski, and he'll be a couple of yards short of a first down.
What we're likely going to see is Wisconsin get into a hurry-up, a tempo type of offense going forward. Actually, I mean, they're huddling right now, but the point remains there's just not enough time to huddle, and take your time if you want to come back here. You got to go.
And that goes back to the communication part of it with the new play caller. It's got to be signaled down. Cannot go as fast as you want to. Dupree carries, big hold. Darion Dupree down the sideline into Husker territory and inside the 40-yard line. Singleton ran him down, but finally something positive for this Wisconsin offense.
We're seeing some awesome football played by the freshman today. That time it's Darion Dupree, and he wasn't touched really there until the opposite side 45-yard line. Just a great job by the Badgers offensive line, winning with their movement. Darion Dupree, a good job feeling that and seeing the holes in the running lanes.
Dupree stays in. Another drive into the plus side of the field. Locke running out of time. Ty Robinson brought him down. A flag comes in late.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 0, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Okay.
Locke, end zone. Foot down.
Touchdown.
And a touchdown. Again, Bryson Green in that corner.
Man, what a throw. That is a perfect ball.
Vacos puts it through.
So it's 17-34. It's a 17-point game. You'd think Fickle could have went for 2 to make it a 16-point game and a 2-possession game.
Here's that throw again from Braden Locke. Heat coming from Bullock. Perfectly timed to Bryson Green. Raiola looking deep. There's Barney again with another catch. His 7th catch of the game.
I'd imagine these guys are gonna have a fun time playing here together. They got a special connection. Barney's a smaller guy. He's 6 foot 170, but man, he plays like a guy that's 200 plus.
Emmett Johnson. Out in the open. Johnson brought down at the 45-yard line. Johnson approaching 100 yards on the ground tonight.
This is a brand new team. I mean, this is, just watching them, this is what they're capable of. This is something that Matt Rule can tuck away even for the offseason and say, guys, this is the standard of who we are going forward.
Hand off again. That's Gabe Irvin on the carry and picks up 2. That will take us to the 4th quarter.
Brett Bielema's done such an awesome job. I mean, Cignetti's stolen the headlines as coach of the year, but Illinois, Bielema could lead them to 9 wins and maybe a 10th win in the bowl game.
Emmett Johnson survives one hit, stays on his feet. And he has just gone over 100 yards in this game.
And Johnson is having a heck of a game. He's shown a little bit of everything. He's more of their scat back, their agile back, more speed than Dante Dowdell, and he's broken how many tackles today? He's broken a number of tackles. Coming into this game, Nebraska had the 3rd fewest broken tackles in the conference by running backs. That's a crazy stat. Again, Holgerson challenged them to break more tackles, and they've clearly responded.
First career 100-yard game for Emmett Johnson. Dowdell gets the carry, pushes forward. First down, Huskers.
Because you want a chance to be great. That's why you run the Oklahoma drill.
Handoff, Dowdell. The black shirts were famous here in Nebraska for years, trying to get back to the physicality. Raiola all day to throw, dumps it off. Emmett Johnson again slips a tackle, stays on his feet near the 10-yard line. It's the Emmett Johnson game in Nebraska. Harbord keeps behind that big offensive line, and shooting through to make the tackle is Christian Allegro. He's almost got 100 receiving yards too.
Look at Raiola just commanding this offense.
Raiola across the middle. Nair with the catch. Mark him down at the 8.
Preston Zachman was waiting for it. They've run this it's kind of like a pick play, this crossing concept a few times, and Emmett Johnson ran a wheel route. Zachman was with him initially, as he should be, and then came up and made the play.
3rd down and 6. Raiola incomplete. Too tall for Jamal Banks. Had the look that he wanted.
Yep. You run the ball, then you can get it to play action, and that's why Ricaldo, you see him looking around a little bit. He knows he was early. That's probably, it looked like a grab. It looked like it could have been a flag.
It's the 2nd time, though, for Banks that he's had a ball that he has missed. Had one go right through his hands for a potential touchdown. That one would have been 6.
Yep.
Field goal try from Hall.
And at 6'4", 220, he has the potential to make that play, flag or no flag aside.
Hall puts it through. Oh, look at that. Big circles, Jake.
Man, you're going to take my job, Jeff. That's a great circle.
Let's check in with Dave Revson in Chicago. We will be in Happy Valley next week. Thanks so much. Crazy game up in Minneapolis. That Gopher team is gritty.
Yes. How about, the shakeup? Big Ten had 4 of the top 5 teams. Indiana went down on the road to Ohio State. Penn State struggling.
Dupree to the outside, picks up 4. I've never drawn on the telestrator before, Jake, so thank you for letting me do that.
Listen, like I said, for your first circle, that was a really good circle. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy drawing circles.
Well, for Nebraska, they're trying to win the Freedom Trophy for the first time. They've been playing for this between Wisconsin and Nebraska since 2014. Badgers 9-0 since its inception. Braden Locke to the outside. He's short of a first down. Vinny Anthony with another reception. 5th catch for Vinny Anthony, first in the 2nd half.
And really, this drive is pretty much, this is the game at this point. With it being a 20-point game, Nebraska has a chance to effectively put this one away. Wisconsin's thinking they simply have to score a touchdown.
Under 10 minutes to go. Up the gut, stuffed again.
I'm running away from big number 9. There he is.
Packed in tight. Walker squirts through, first down Wisconsin. They needed to have it, they blocked it well.
Yeah. The left side blocked it well. The right's Ty Robinson almost got there. He got through, but A good job by Walker, the veteran, finding that space backside.
They got to get this tempo moving.
They cannot huddle. I mean, this has got to be, it's got to be 2-minute drill from here on out.
Locke going deep. Anthony's open. Caught. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Deep threat. And Vinny Anthony with a score.
Well, I don't know what the safeties were doing there. There was a flash, a little play action, but not too much threat to run at this point in the game. And what you notice is there's no safety. They got caught with their eyes in the backfield. And that's a tough task for anyone to run with Vinny Anthony down the field. And I mean, that is exactly what Wisconsin needed right there.
Now they go for 2.
We were calling for it.
Nebraska subbing some players in. Locke to the outside. 2-point conversion is good. Bryson Green, 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. But right now it's a 2-possession game, so we don't need to talk about that. Lom kicks it away. Fair catch called for and secured. 5 straight drives of scores for Nebraska. Raiola hits Borkature on the backside. Borkature puts his head down. Raiola pulls it out. Barney again with a catch.
That last one could have been an RPO.
Raiola again takes a short check down. First down, Nebraska. Emmett Johnson on the ground inside the 40-yard line. And flags come out.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 4.
The 2 missed field goals and the fumble lost right at the end of the first half led to 17 points. That's the difference in the game right now. Raiola over the middle, incomplete, knocked out of the hands of Barney. Raiola takes that check down in and out of the hands, and flags come in late.
In the backfield, it looks like this might be roughing the passer.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 0 is below to the head. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Emmett Johnson on the carry, stuffed.
This Fickle would use his timeouts.
Pop pass to Barney. Trying to get to the outside. And he's brought down. There's a flag that comes in late. It looked like Barney's face mask got grabbed, but that flag came in late.
The crowd wanted it.
A grab from the ear hole.
Yep.
Personal foul, face mask.
Terrible penalties that result in a loss. Now it's Wisconsin. Nebraska's on the benefiting end.
Dowdell stopped just short. Where are they going to go? Robinson's in the backfield.
Look at that.
Handoff. Dowdell. Touchdown, his 3rd.
They earned the right to chant go big red right there.
44 points, a season high for Nebraska, and Holgerson calling a gem. Locke with the completion. Locke again to pass. Incomplete, intercepted.
With that sideline warning, here's the interception. Singleton ready Matt Rule talked about this is a guy, senior night, thought he might get another year. He played 4 games last year, a few snaps against Michigan, applied for a waiver, denied. So his time here in Lincoln is coming to an end.
2:37 to go in this one. Harburg will run it over the right side. Almost 300 yards through the air, almost 200 yards on the ground as Gabe Irvin is in the game. Harburg will carry it. Harburg is wrapped up and brought down.
To do what Matt Rule has done, which is...
He told us, Jake, the program's going to win when it's ready to win.
There you go.
It's a big win today.
Right.
35 seconds away from win number 6 in bowl eligibility for the first time since 2016. It's the 3rd longest in the FBS.
Now it's not over. Okay, it's not over. That was 4th down, Wisconsin ball. Wisconsin's got to take a snap here.
Doing some trolling on the Wisconsin fans playing jump around. Hand off. And Dupree picks up 8. Wisconsin battled. They did some good things on offense today, but at the end of the day, it's all Nebraska. The Freedom Trophy will stay in Lincoln, and the Cornhuskers are going bowling.
Since 2016, I think that the journey to get here, not easy. Long and filled with a number of challenges. Congratulations to Matt Rule and this fan base and this football team. It's gonna be a fun one tonight.
Brooke Fletcher's got Matt Rule. If you can hear us, take it away, Brooke.
Coach told me he's eager to go celebrate with the fans here. Coach, first bowl appearance for Nebraska since 2016. What does this win mean to you?
Well, it means a lot to these seniors. I want to go hug those guys. You know, they haven't had this moment, so really proud of them, happy for them.
You mentioned that you want to get this win here for them. Just what did they bring to the table here tonight?
Well, they weathered the storm, they battled. I told a couple of them they have to deal with me for a couple more weeks at the bowl practice. So, I mean, this was a good football team. We haven't beat them in 11 years. It's about time we did it.